All right, y'all, so right here we have this AquaTru Countertop water filter, and I figured that I would do a full-on like setup of this thing and test it out. So I did an unboxing video already to show you guys everything that comes in this thing, and now I want to kind of put it together. So first of all, in the back right here, you have your 3 filters that they put in the tank here. To take these out just like this, they come all nice and wrapped up. And you have this little tool right here. This is a filter removal tool, which we'll get into in just a minute, so keep on watching. This is going to be our container for the water. It does have a little foam insert in there so that those, whenever they're shipping, the filters do stay, not jumbling around and whatnot. But whenever you go to install your filters, you can see that each section right here is color-coded for which filter goes where. So all you have to do is unwrap your filter. Let me get my knife so I can easily get this shrink wrap off. Just like that. And we're going to peel it on out. Perfect. Now, you have these 3 ports right there. And this one is the blue one. It says reverse osmosis on there. It's blue. It's the filter. This is blue. It says reverse osmosis on there. It says warning, remove the blue plugs before you install. So they do have these little guys, just little rubber plugs in there. So you want to make sure to pop those on out. And then you're just going to take this . There's a little guide right here. This little piece that kind of squares it off. And there's little channels in here. Right here on this side. And then right over here on this side. And so you want to make sure that you line that up in the channel. Give it a good push. This comes down and then you lock it into place just like that. So you're going to want to do that with all of your filters. I do want to point out that the blue one, the one that we just installed, has 3 ports that stick out. The other 2 only have 2, so that kind of gives you an idea. This one is the yellow one, the pre-carbon filter. So yellow, pre-carbon. Take out our plugs. So we're just going to simply pull that on out. And then once you get that out, simply take this, put it along those channels, push it in, that comes down, lock it into place just like that. Super easy to do, which is awesome. Then we have our last filter right here, and we're going to pour some water into this tank and turn this thing on and see how well this thing operates. So again, right here, green on green, this is your VCO carbon filter. Oh, I forgot to take out the plugs, kind of important. There we go, grab that. Now, channel it out, push that on in, press that down, and then your filters are installed. So now, get this piece of paper out of here. We're going to drop our tank right on into here. And you can see how on the bottom you have these 2 ports right here, which are here and here. And that's going to direct the water down into here, through the filter, and into our carafe right here. So, did want to point out too, this does have a nice handle on it. So if you do want to go fill it up at the sink, you just simply pop it on out, go fill it up, and then you can put it back on. So I like that they have a nice beefy handle right here if you need that. But I have a pitcher, so I'm going to pour some water on into there, and then we're going to turn this thing on. So, let me grab my pitcher of water. And this is a big pitcher right here. I'm curious to know how much water actually is going to go fill through here. Quite a bit. I don't see like a max line on this or anything. So I'm just going to give it right up to there. On the back here it does say unfiltered water tank, so they're letting you know that this is the tank for the filtered water. It says run 4 cycles of water before first use. So now that we have that, we have water in there, we got filters installed, we have our carafe right here. This says purified water carafe, clean once a week with soap and water. This is glass, which I pointed out in my previous video, which I really like that attention to detail and quality there. All right, so on the top here, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. Let me see if I can move you guys. These are buttons and lights and whatnot. So I wanted to show you that you have the empty and refill the tap tank, purifying and maintenance, change filter and reset right here. So let's go ahead and see what exactly we need to do right from the front right here. I gotta spin it on around so I can see it a little bit easier. Okay. It says empty and refill the tap tank. Well, I just did that. It was empty and I refilled it. Do I need to reset now? I'm holding it down. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. I got power to it right here. Do I need a cycle power maybe? I don't see like a switch on it anywhere. Make sure I'm not missing it. Okay, filter replacement. Push up on the filter lock to release the filter. Use the removal tool. Install new filter. Lock the filter in place by press and hold the filter reset button for at least 5 seconds. After installing a new filter, always discard the first 2 filter tanks. AquaTru if you ever replace pH. Doesn't say anything on there. It says press the reset button for 5 seconds. Since I just put them in, let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, got nothing there. Okay. I'm going to do a power cycle on this thing. So to do that, I'm just going to simply unplug it. We'll give it the 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plug it in. Okay, we got lights. It says purifying now. Okay, so I think it needed just a power cycle there. I bet I wasn't supposed to have it plugged in whenever I'm installing filters. But now you can see how it's bubbling up right here. We have our pump working. And so it's going to bring water down through here, through those filters, and then eventually we will see our carafe start to fill up with the purified water. So I'm kind of curious to know how long this process takes before you get some water going through. Now, I'm sure with the first few times you do it, you got to kind of let some of the water get going through the tubing in there, going through the filters and all that type of stuff. But so it might take a little bit longer on the first, 1 or 2 times. So let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. It's very quiet, I gotta say that. Like being just a countertop type of filter, obviously there's gonna be the pump in there that has to pump the water through and whatnot, but I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit so you guys can listen to the sound of the pump. So you can see that it has a little bit of a sound to it, but it's very, very muted. And some of it is, some of the sounds you were hearing is just the water going through the filters as well for the first time. So there may be a couple like extra little bubble type of sounds and whatnot. But once it gets saturated, you'll be good to go. It's very convenient. The setup and having it on a countertop for purified water, I really, really like this because if you've ever tried to install one of those filters that go underneath your sink, like you got to tap into the water supply line, hook up everything. You usually have a tank underneath there unless it's a tankless one. You have the whole filtration box that's in there, which is basically a smaller version of this part right here where the filters are. This is smaller. So the other ones are usually a little bit larger. And it takes up a lot of room underneath your cabinet, which you might use for storage and whatnot. But what's nice about this is that you can have it out on your counter. You can just simply fill up the water whenever you need to, and then it'll produce some purified water right here for you, which I think is super cool and just very, very easy to use. I mean, this is something that your kids could easily fill up because we need those kids to be able to do some chores, right? Make your chore filling up the water pitcher. So, yeah, it looks like we're producing something now. So this is what the drip looks like. I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can lift this up so y'all can see it a little bit better. But that is what the drip looks like coming through there. Just a good slow drip. Make sure you get good purification out of there as it goes through those filters. It's working well, I gotta say. I'm very pleased with it. And this carafe, like I mentioned earlier, is made out of glass. But not only that, I think it looks really nice. So if you're having like a party or you're having some people come over for a hangout or whatever, and you want to have a pitcher of water out, once you've purified the water, you can even make it a little bit fancier, adding some lemon, some mint, you know, flavoring it somehow. And you could serve it right out of this pitcher right here. You don't have to transfer it to another type of container to be able to let your guests be able to serve themselves, or for you to be able to serve them as well. So I really like that. I really like how clean it looks. I like the glass on it, and it fits right here in your carafe, so everything has a place. It's got, you know, you have your storage space for the pitcher. That's another thing, is that my wife likes to have a bunch of like fancy pitchers around. We had some really nice ones that we got for our wedding, but where the heck do you put those things? So they're like up in the top of the cabinets, and you know, once a month or whatever, whenever we have some people come over, we have to take those things down, make sure they're not dusty, clean them off. Then we, you know, get the water, we got to fill it up and then leave it out, and you mix everything in there. And then you have to store it back up into the cabinet where you could be putting some other things. Unlike with this thing, it always has a place, it always has a use. You can leave it on your counter whenever the pitcher's there. Whenever the pitcher's not there, you know where it goes just by putting it back into this thing right here. So I really like that it has a safe spot, or a space that it belongs in, that's actually functional and useful, because it's going to be used as the place for the filtered water, the purified water. So super duper cool. Oh, I mentioned the little lights up here. That's for whenever you need to change your water filters. So they give you just a little light, and it says pre-RO and VOC on there. So whenever it does come time to change them, you can do that. Alright, so I think y'all got the basis out of this. We got a lot of water in this thing, so I'm not going to run through those 4 runs with you guys. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, setting it up and how it works and installing your filters and all that type of stuff. So if you guys are looking for a great countertop water filtration purifier, definitely go and check out this one right here. And again, thank you to these guys for sending this to me so that I could show you guys how this thing works. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know if this was helpful, and Dad out.